So I think I was a mean guy the last couple lessons. I went over 10 minutes on each one of those. Not that I ever promised I'd stay under 10 minutes on all of them, but I try to. This is a much shorter lesson, so I'm going to make it up to you here today. And the reason for that is because everything we learned, um, or everything we're learning supposedly today, we kind of already learned 2 lessons ago in lesson 31 when we were adding integers. So not everything, but 99% of what we're doing today we've already learned. Here's the one thing that we have to learn that's new. Subtracting is the same as adding the opposite. So anytime we're faced with a subtraction problem, we can look at it as an addition problem. Add the opposite. Instead of subtracting 5, we could add -5. So let's do that here. So here's what I mean. Instead of subtracting -3 here, we could add a +3. And then using our rules of addition that we learned 2 lessons ago, we've got numbers with different signs. So we keep the sign of the number that's got the larger absolute value. -12 further away from 0 on the number line than 3 is. So we know our answer is going to be negative. Then secondly, we subtract their absolute values. 12 minus 3 is 9. Okay. Next one, -12 minus +3, we could look at this as -12 plus a -3 if we wanted to. They have the same sign, so we know the answer is going to be negative, and then we add their absolute values. 12 plus 3 is 15, so our answer is -15. 12 minus +3 is -15. For C, let's rewrite this as addition. -3 plus 12. Instead of subtracting -12, we're going to add its opposite. Different signs, so keep the sign of the number with the greater absolute value. 12's got a greater absolute value than -3, so we know our answer is going to be positive. And then we subtract their absolute values. 12 minus 3 is 9. Last one, rewrite it as addition. -3 plus -12 is the same as -3 minus +12. Same sign, so we know the answer is going to be negative. And then we add their absolute values. 3 plus 12 is 15. So our answer is -15. On example C here, you don't have to have that plus sign there, but just doing it to illustrate the rules of addition. So let's show -2 minus -3 on a number line. Well, the first thing I would do is change it to addition again. Subtracting -3 is the same as adding 3. Then I'd make my number line. I'm going to start at -2. And then I'm going to move up 3 spaces because I'm adding 3. That leaves me at +1. Okay, and even if I started at -2 and I subtracted -3, subtraction means you go backwards, but since we're going negative, that's a double negative. Backwards, -3 spaces is like going forward 3 spaces. So shows our answer is 1. And a real world use here of subtracting integers. Victor owed $386. His creditor forgave. Forgave is another word for subtracted $100 of the debt. What kind of deal he's got going on there. Write an equation for the situation and find out how much Victor still owes. How about this for our equation? The amount he owes equals $386 minus $100. 386 minus 100 or plus -100 is 286. So he owes $286. Okay, that's it for today. Like I promised you, short lesson, under 5 minutes. You're welcome. See you tomorrow.